How does you're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating ourselves on? What are we rating on?
Okay,
Well, we're gonna know. In the least amount of fights, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights,
Yes, you did.
who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were
So it's basically saying that,
the greatest of all time.
okay.
When Terence "Bud" Crawford made the bold claim that he could stop Floyd Mayweather even faster than he stopped Errol Spence, it instantly grabbed everyone's attention, but it especially hit a nerve with Floyd himself, who clearly wasn't pleased hearing that kind of confidence directed at him.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? That's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Within just a few hours, Floyd Mayweather's response started circulating on social media. Calm on the surface, sharp and calculated like always, but people close to him suggest he was actually very angry. For years, fighters have compared themselves to Floyd, but this time it went further, with Terence Crawford not only suggesting he could beat him, but that he could stop him inside the ring, and that clearly struck a nerve. The comment came from a boxing podcast that aired just 2 nights earlier, shortly after Crawford's major win over Canelo Alvarez, when he was asked how a fight between him and Floyd in their prime would go. Smiling, Crawford didn't hold back and said he would stop Floyd easier than he stopped Errol Spence, adding that while Floyd is great, he sees himself as greater. That single statement exploded online almost instantly, setting boxing social media on fire with trending tags like hashtag Crawford vs. Floyd and hashtag GOAT debate spreading across the world.
Yo, yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh shit, okay, I'm just asking.
Man.
Because Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus anybody. I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
What really caught people off guard wasn't just Crawford's confidence, but how believable it sounded. When you look at his career and the way he broke down Errol Spence or controlled a fighter like Canelo Alvarez, it's clear Crawford isn't speaking out of emotion or hype. He's methodical and precise in everything he does. That's exactly why his words carried so much weight, and it's also why Floyd Mayweather is taking notice, because he understands Crawford isn't just talking. He actually believes in what he's capable of.
You could take a guy like Canelo, this guy could do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Here's the reality. Since retiring, Floyd Mayweather has worked hard to stay at the center of boxing conversations. Every exhibition fight, every media appearance, every headline has helped keep his name in the spotlight. But now, in 2025, that control is starting to fade. While Floyd is stepping into exhibition bouts like the one with Mike Tyson, which many see more as entertainment and nostalgia than real competition, Terence Crawford is out in the ring adding serious achievements to his legacy and building a strong case as one of the best of his era.
Better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Crawford isn't just chasing big paydays, he's focused on proving his greatness, and that mindset is exactly what seems to frustrate Floyd the most, because it shifts the attention away from money and legacy shows and puts it on real achievements inside the ring.
I'm gonna get a lot of too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather. Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And not even, And honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. So imagine going up to it. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, but I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather is the greatest of all time. But I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he ended up winning. You know what I mean? So you have to give credit to that too. I mean, that's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now, heavyweight.
I know that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now. No, but that's kind of like how that'd be. You know what I mean? So you have to, bro. That's a lot of. He has a lot of balls to do that. And not only to go do that to show the world that he's really like that.
For years, Floyd Mayweather has faced criticism that his career was built on perfect timing, carefully choosing opponents, waiting for the right moments, and focusing on big paydays while avoiding unnecessary risk. Many agree there's truth to that, even though it also made him a brilliant boxing businessman. But that same approach has always carried debate about how his legacy should be viewed. On the other hand, Terence Crawford is taking a very different path. He's going after top fighters at their best, moving up in weight, and accepting high-risk challenges that Floyd often avoided. Now, when Crawford speaks about Floyd, it's not about attention or hype, but about proving where he stands in boxing history.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's.
Here's where things get even more interesting. People close to Mayweather Promotions say Floyd feels disrespected, not just because of what was said, but because of who said it. Floyd has always valued loyalty in boxing, especially with fighters like Gervonta Tank Davis, who he discovered, guided, and helped shape into a major star. But Terence Crawford is different. He never trained under Floyd, never signed with him, and never depended on his system. Instead, he built his own path to superstardom, earning everything independently, something very few fighters in the sport have managed to do.
I beat this guy, it's an excuse, I beat this guy, you know, he's too young or whatever. So I'm never really going to give my full respect until afterwards. Yes, you know, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career. You know, we really didn't realize it until now when he's like doing extraordinary stuff, like going up 2 weight classes to fight the best fighter in that division, the #1 guy that's the face of boxing, you know. And the way that I handled that, people like, oh man, something had to be wrong. Canelo had to be washed, or Canelo just wasn't in it. I see people saying, oh, Turkey paid for Canelo to lose, you know. So I just think, you know, when you that much better than the competition, you know, people not going to give you credit until they sit down and look at it and just be like, man, that dude was good.
And that independence is exactly what makes this situation so tense. One promoter claimed Floyd sees parts of himself in Crawford, but without the control he always valued. In his view, Crawford is achieving similar success, but without the business side and behind-the-scenes strategy Floyd built his career on. That's where the clash comes in. Floyd has never been comfortable with anyone being seen as his successor, because his legacy is built on being unique, the fighter no one could truly copy or match.
I'll let you know, there's no fighter that will ever be better than me. There's no fighter that wasn't better than me before me or after me or when I'm long gone.
But Crawford isn't trying to copy Floyd or follow his path at all. He's creating his own approach and reshaping what modern greatness in boxing looks like in his own way.
I'm ending this interview.
#1 and the only one that he got at top is Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford's this generation guy. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishing all the goals that he accomplished.
Matched up? How do they match up, Floyd and Terence?
Hey, I'm like this, man. It's going to be great because Floyd, he's about his work. He put in work. We've been watching it for decades. You know what I'm saying? Him coming out of retirement to do this fight, that's a win for the whole world boxing. Every generation from Floyd's generation to this generation to get to see it come. That's just like we never get to see Michael Jordan play, right? But we remember when he used to play. Come on. So.
Now here's why this debate is so split. Floyd Mayweather was known as the most untouchable fighter of his era, rarely losing even a single round, let alone a fight. His defense was so sharp that elite punchers often looked ordinary against him. Terence Crawford, however, brings a completely different style. He thrives in pressure situations, welcomes exchanges, and then takes full control of them. Instead of relying only on scoring points, he focuses on breaking opponents down and taking them apart as the fight goes on.
In the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
When Crawford faced Errol Spence, many expected a close, brutal war, but what they got instead was a complete boxing lesson. Crawford picked him apart step by step, controlled every exchange, knocked him down 3 times, and ultimately finished the fight with precision and patience, almost like a surgeon breaking everything down with perfect timing.
I didn't expect that the fight will be like that, but I thought it will finish 12 rounds. But Crawford he did a good job.
Is Crawford time for pound number one?
Time for pound number one? I think so.
How do we?
Pretty much. I don't think.
Do you feel like they need a rematch, Manny, after what you saw tonight?
I don't know if there's a rematch.
That's all we gotta go.
It's kind of a one-sided fight.
Does this fight make Terence Crawford an all-time great in your eyes?
Well, he's still in his career, so he's prime in his career. So we'll see. We'll see the journey of his life.
That's the comparison people keep bringing up. Critics argue that Floyd Mayweather never produced that same level of destruction against elite, fully prime opponents. While Floyd's win over Canelo Alvarez is often mentioned, many point out that Canelo was still young and not yet at his peak at the time. Crawford, on the other hand, stopped a much more experienced version of Canelo while moving up in weight, which adds to the debate around his greatness. Because of performances like that, some modern analysts have started openly suggesting that Terence Crawford could be on an even higher level than Floyd ever was. Even boxing greats are weighing in. Roy Jones Jr. put it simply, saying Floyd may have been smoother in pure skill, but Crawford's level of total dominance is something the sport hasn't really seen before.
Great fighters, right? 90% of your great fighters are black. The ones from the past. Now, with the Eastern Bloc coming on like they are, there's going to be some great ones coming on now. Even with Lil Tony, as you see it, these guys are going to be great. They're going to start eclipsing and coming up there too. But right now, if you had to name 5 of the best fighters of all time, 4 of them are going to be black. You understand me? Who did he beat that was black in his prime, that was in their prime, that was on his level?
And Max Kellerman summed it up in a very simple way. Floyd Mayweather built his career around control, managing distance, pace, and risk so nothing ever got out of hand. Terence Crawford, on the other hand, fights with a different mindset. He's not just trying to control the fight, he's trying to dominate it and create memorable moments of greatness. That contrast is exactly what separates the two styles and fuels the debate around their legacies.
Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. Yes. That makes a difference to people.
Crawford did amazing, he a legend, man, 3-time undisputed, you got to take his hat up to him, he went up 2 weight classes and dominated a legend, so my hat goes up to him and he's all respect.
Do you think Canelo is the same guy that he was before? He didn't completely fallen off?
Canelo's Canelo, you know what I mean? Canelo's a legend, bro. You gotta, at the end of the day, whatever happened that fight, that don't diminish his career, his image. You feel me? I think right now, he's at that time where he took an L, but he ain't take an L, you know what I'm saying? He got paid and he a legend at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So if he want to walk over in the sunset right now, you know, his last name is in the cement. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the greatest Mexican fighters in the world.
I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but Crawford does have all the titles. You're a really big name. He's kind of in your way right now a little bit.
Yeah.
And that a fight where you're just like, yeah, me and him get it on for sure.
Not for sure. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? We don't duck no smoke. So, you know, right now, you know, I'm focused on my climax fight, you know what I'm saying? You know, I gotta put my head down, you know, whatever happened in my last fight is through, but you know, that ain't dim my light at all, you know what I'm saying? I'm still a superstar, I'm still a star, I'm still the king of New York, man, you know? I'm fly, I look good.
Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather's response has stayed focused on his accomplishments. His perfect 50-0 record, massive pay-per-view success, and the business empire he built after boxing. For him, those numbers define greatness. But Terence Crawford seems focused on something different, legacy over statistics. That's why many fans see this as a symbolic shift, almost like a passing of the torch, even if Floyd himself doesn't accept that idea. In simple terms, Mayweather's era was built on perfection and control, while Crawford's era is about pushing limits and evolving the sport. Floyd avoided defeat by minimizing risk, but Crawford's approach is different. He's willing to take dangerous fights, even if it means he could lose someday, because he believes that's what true greatness requires.
And I beat him, but we both in our third, they say he's over the hill. But then when Pacquiao fights him, they say, oh, this is the greatest thing we ever seen. So then when I fight Hatton, they say I'm too big for Hatton, but then they say,
No, nobody said that. You got full credit for both of those wins, Floyd. That's why you became a superstar.
No, I did not.
Yes,
no,
you
I
did.
did not. No,
sure
I did
you
not.
did. From
are
me,
you
I
gonna
gave you full credit. If you're talking to me now, I gave you full credit for that.
Am I gonna speak my piece or not?
Go
Am
ahead.
I gonna speak my piece or not?
Go ahead.
Okay, because you want to interview me. I ain't interviewing you. You want to talk to me. I don't worry about talking.
Floyd,
you want to talk
go
to
ahead.
me.
I'm waiting on you.
So then when I fight Hatton, they say, oh, Mayweather is too big for Hatton. But then Marquez and Pacquiao can fight, it's no problem. But now, but I'm too big for Marquez. I'm too big for Marquez, but I'm not too big for Pacquiao. Which one is it?
Well,
which one is it?
Which one is it?
Which one is it?
It's that Pacquiao was 130 pounds and he keeps moving out and whacking guys who are much.
That's the difference people often point out between an icon and a legend, and many believe Floyd Mayweather is very aware of it. That's why he's been more visible in interviews again, speaking about new fighters chasing attention and reminding everyone of his business success, record, and earnings. From his side, it's about reinforcing his place in history, but for fans, the conversation is slowly shifting toward Terence Crawford. There's even talk that Floyd may do a detailed interview soon to respond directly and set the record straight, which many expect will focus again on his undefeated record and financial achievements. Still, that may not change the direction the debate is going, because a growing number of fans are already viewing Crawford as the next face of boxing rather than just another great fighter. Floyd represents the standard that defined an era, but Crawford represents a new one built on dominance across divisions and repeated undisputed success. Both deserve respect for very different reasons. Mayweather for his historic career and business impact, and Crawford for his rise through tough challenges and elite opponents. But the way fans define greatness is clearly evolving, and the conversation around boxing's top spot is no longer as settled as it once was.
Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in this fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah, he's a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in that
The funny thing about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. You know?
That's true. But you gotta
Can't
have an
say
OG
everybody.
somewhere.
Anybody
though.
else? Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
got a pioneer, right? Yeah, you gotta.
There's
yeah.
an OG you can't outfigure out somewhere, and I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't outfigure.
Now the world is watching closely. Terence Crawford has already hinted that he only has a few fights left before he retires. That opens the door to some big possibilities, including a showdown with Jaron "Boots" Ennis, a potential rematch with Canelo Alvarez, or even a move up to 160 pounds in pursuit of one final world title. Each option carries serious risk, but also the chance to further cement his legacy before he walks away from the sport.
As his trainer, do you feel like you should just sail off into the sunset after this monumental
Well,
win?
you know what? He made it look so easy. You know what I'm saying? Got 2-3 more in him. And you know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, it'd be a challenge. If you want to challenge yourself, yeah, I don't mind.
Every decision Crawford makes from this point forward only strengthens the argument around his legacy. At this stage, it's no longer just a debate between fans. It feels more like a shift in boxing's balance of power. On one side is Floyd Mayweather, the defining figure of the past era, who built his career around protection, precision, and securing an undefeated record. On the other is Crawford, representing a newer approach built on risk, challenge, and dominance against elite competition. One focused on leaving the sport rich and undefeated, while the other is focused on being remembered as one of the greatest to ever do it, no matter the risks involved.
You before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. Go, greatest of all time, man. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. You know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
And in the end, that's what's fueling the debate even more. Some fans believe Floyd's reaction is just him defending his legacy the same way any great champion would, while others feel Crawford has already made his point through what he's achieved in the ring. Whether the throne has truly been passed or not is something boxing fans will keep arguing about for a long time. What's clear is that both fighters have left a major mark on the sport in very different ways, and the conversation around them isn't ending anytime soon.